Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. We had hoped that these attacks down in North Carolina were isolated incidents against power substations, but we are now hearing reports directly from the federal government that these are not isolated attacks, that there have been multiple more attacks on power substations, particularly in the states of Oregon and Washington. A local news agency, Channel 9 in Portland, Oregon, got their hands on a memo issued by the federal government down to local law enforcement agencies. This is one of those things that's not actually sent out to the public, but these reporters actually doing reporting, it's astonishing, actually were able to get their hands on this report. And it points to that power companies in Oregon and Washington state have reported physical attacks on power substations using hand tools, arson, firearms, and metal chains, possibly in response to an online call for attacks on critical infrastructure. The memo states that the aim is violent anti-government criminal activity. Now, Oregon and Washington, you know, hotbeds of conservatism. Yeah, I think you can probably guess the ideological bent of the people that have done these attacks in Oregon and Washington. But here's the thing, that as it's listing these things, it's not talking about threats that could happen. It's talking about attacks that have happened in the recent past. So Channel 9 actually reached out to PG&E and Pacific Power. PG&E confirmed that there was a recent deliberate physical attack on substations in the Clackamas, I think I'm pronouncing that right, Clackamas area. Multiple power substations attacked in the PG&E area. Now, Pacific Power declined to confirm or deny or even discuss any attacks that happened in their area. However, the notice that went out from the federal government particularly said that recent attacks, attackers used fence cutters to get through security fences. Sounds pretty deliberate to me. Lighting nearby fires, shooting equipment from a distance with firearms, and throwing objects, and I think this refers back to the chains that they were using, throwing chains up onto transformers and such, throwing objects over the fence onto equipment. We're seeing that there is deliberate attacks on the power infrastructure inside the United States, whether these are copycat attacks or whether these are attacks carried out or inspired for other reasons or other methodologies. What we're seeing is a spike in more attacks just as we're going into wintertime, folks. As we're going into wintertime, is this foreign actors inspiring people inside the United States to bring down our own power grid? How many of these attacks are being swept under the rug? That's the real question. Why does it take a leaker to leak out the information that we're having multiple? In this one attack that PG&E confirmed, multiple substations were attacked. Just that one incident. These other incidents, when did they happen? How did they happen? It's funny, if you are of a certain political bent and you attack power substations, nobody reports on it. If you attack power substations inside an inner city, where people are allowed to kill each other apparently, and they're allowed to attack power substations, there will be no reports on this. Friends, we don't have these transformers just sitting around. A lot of these big transformers are extremely expensive, built in France, according to someone who wrote an email to me sharing with me some insider information. A lot of these are made in France or over in China. And these transformers are massive. They take years to build. You don't just order one off the shelf. You need to order these well in advance. And if we have people going around destroying these things, Our power grid is extremely susceptible. We have so many power substations out there. We have power lines everywhere, and yet we have 300 plus million people in America who believe, without beyond a shadow of a doubt, that their power grid is stable and safe and secure. We need to understand that the power in your home could go out like that. You could, but like the folks down North Carolina, not have power for the next week just because. And if we have larger scale attacks, if we have more coordination, and there are organizations out there that hate everything that America stands for, whether they are foreign actors or whether they are just people who dress up in black and cover their faces. You know, an organization that doesn't actually exist. These people and other people may want to take down the power grid in your area. Are you prepared for that? Because in the end, the power companies can only fix so much damage. And yet we see this lust for destruction. There are people who want to burn down everything about our way of life, from statues to words and meanings, to what you're allowed to talk about, what you're not allowed to talk about. Destroying people's lives because they said something maybe years ago, get them fired, making it so that people are compelled to engage in commerce on things that they don't feel comfortable about and don't want to do from a conviction standpoint. We see so much of this effort to control and dominate, and that same attitude is the same attitude that says, well, if I can't dominate you, if I can't rule over you, I'm going to burn it all down. Friends, you look at South Africa, you look at other countries, Venezuela, you look at countries where they have significant destabilization of things, and you see people start destroying the physical infrastructure. Are we there in the United States? Well, according to this report from the federal government, yes, we have people physically attacking our infrastructure, physically attacking our power substations. And this is a report for Oregon and Washington. What if we pulled the federal report for your area? What if we got a hold of what they're sending to your local law enforcement? How many attacks have happened in your area on the power substations? That's a question that I don't know the answer to. If you have insider information, please email it to me. I will absolutely protect your identity. poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. But we need to work together to become more self-sufficient and more aware of what's going on out there. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you are subscribed, that you haven't been unsubscribed by the powers that be. And if you like this video, you might want to check out this other video from me right here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar out.